Welcome back to a Small Athlete podcast with your host, Travis House. Today, I've got Callum Bratt on. As you can see, polar opposite. I am 5'4" and he is 6'8". But Callum has been my best mate since we were 11 years old. So we've grown up together. He's seen what I've done in sport. I've seen what he's done in sport. He's seen what I've done in life. I've seen what he's done in life. So we've had a couple of accomplishments that we've done together. We've had some that we've done separately, which is really cool. We've known each other since we were 11. So we grew up in school together. We met in high school, gone through high school. Now we're outside of high school, both 25 years old. You're 26 now, actually, aren't you?
No, 25.
25.
Not quite 26.
Nearly. April.
Yeah, April.
Hell yeah, there
April
you go.
7th.
But yes, we've known each other for ages. So, Callum, introduce yourself. Tell the viewers and the listeners about you.
About me, yeah. Well, if you didn't know already, my name's Callum. Callum Bratt, double T. I am a coalman by day. I do property by night, but mainly I do fitness. I like ultra running. I like a bit of Hyrox, but mainly I just try to do a bit of everything. You know, cycling.
So, from what I know about Callum and Callum's sporting background, when we were in school, we went to a school that specialised in like basketball. And obviously, if you look at me standing next to Callum is very big. So Callum did kind of specialise in basketball. What would you say, like 11 till when?
I'd say 11 till 20. I'd say I've done basketball.
Yeah, because we played, another fun fact about me, we played in the same basketball team and we were basketball coaches for that team.
And you was MVP.
I was MVP and Callum was top scorer. So it just made basketball quality for us too. But we were playing basketball from 18 until 20, so just before COVID.
Yeah, that was outside of school and
yeah, so
like that, yeah.
But throughout school you played basketball. Did you do anything else? Football?
I did a bit of football at college. Yeah, that was fun. But I just quit football, to be honest. I just stayed at basketball.
So what would you say your main sport has been for you, leading up to now?
I'd say basketball, really. Football was fun. I was really good at defence. I played a few teams, mainly Boreham, which is local to where I live. But basketball was just something that clicked. And I was just already good at it in a point of saying, you know.
Yeah, so from basketball, talk us into your 20, basketball's happened. What next?
So basketball, I kind of peaked in the sense of when I got the points lead, it was going great. And then I stopped basketball completely and I didn't really do anything. And I kind of went into bodybuilding. This is where I got into my first sort of fitness style of, I wanted to be big bodybuilder. I was always a really skinny kid, you know, tall, lanky. Everyone calls me Biro, all that nonsense. Yeah, you can laugh, mate. You know, giraffe,
Biro.
You name it. Biro.
What does Biro mean?
Like you're tall, skinny,
Oh,
slim.
fair.
Yeah, you know, like really slim and skinny. Yeah. That's made me chuckle there.
So, went into bodybuilding. How did you find bodybuilding as someone who's 6'8"?
Shit.
Really? Why?
Hard.
Yeah.
Because when you're my size, it's hard to put on size. People will like be like, oh, but no, it's you gotta eat 3 times more food, and just to put on some decent size takes years.
So then, post bodybuilding, what'd you go into next?
Well, I was into bodybuilding, and then you got your new job as a PT at Unique Gym that's over in Saffron Walden, and I'd done my first ever like S&C session almost. You took me through. I threw up. It was disgusting, and yet there was an affection to it.
I remember the session.
There was an affection to it.
I remember filming the session. It's on my Instagram. I remember filming it and saying, this is Callum's first ever Hyrox session.
Yes, that was the first session I ever did.
So that's on my Instagram, so I can actually go back and find that. I'll link it into the video because it's actually quite funny. But yes, we've done that Hyrox.
Yeah, so that was a bit of running with that, and just the love of how hard it was. It was kind of like entering into a new thing you've never heard of. You're at the beginning and you've got such a progression to go towards. I just fell in love with it, and the running side especially, like running was just so interesting for how hard it was.
So then after that, what did that lead into?
That led me to do Hyrox. I've done a few Hyrox races. I've done my first solo. We done the Milan solo together.
That's it. So this was 2023 now. So this was my first solo race and Callum's first solo race. We were out in Milan 2023. First time it's ever been in Milan. We went out there, zero expectations. What was your time? What'd you get?
I got an hour 30. That was my second month into Hyrox as well.
And then after that, we then led into Glasgow. We done a pro doubles. That was your second ever Hyrox, wasn't it?
Yes.
So I was on 8 by this point. I think we worked out yesterday. What did we get in that?
We got 61 minutes.
61 minutes in our first ever pro doubles. We'll take it. This back in still 2023, I think. Maybe 7 into 2024, but it was Glasgow. And I just remember, if you know Hyrox, you'll know these names. There was Tony Revel and Kieran Parkinson on the start line, and those two bolted it off. And we were on this start line. We'll go into more depth of this very soon. We'll catch up with the story. But we were in Glasgow, literally on a job, effectively. We turned up to Glasgow, we took the flights there, we ended up getting there the day before. The evening of the next day, we'd done the race, and we said to each other on the start line, we were stood there, we're like, right, we're here for a job, we know what we're doing. After that, like, it'll be fine, we just get filmed, sorted. The minute I saw Kieran and Tony go, I'm way too competitive, we just bolted it, and it was game over from that point. Like, we were both in red lines, kind of done. Crossed the line, got 61. We were both like, fuck. Like, we could have pushed a lot harder and got sub 60, but even get 61 in, that was my second ever pro doubles, and Callum's first ever doubles, let alone a pro doubles. So we'll take it. I wouldn't say it's too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad, mate.
Back after that, we're in 2024 now.
Yes.
Next part of the journey.
Next part of the journey was coming into our world record attempt that we did.
Which was why we were out in Glasgow.
Yes. But before that, I wanted to say, when we finished Milan, we did a session at Unique and you asked me something. Do you remember what you asked me?
I did. So when we were...
And do you remember what I said to you about that as well, when you first said what you was going to do as well?
No.
You said, you first approached me saying, right, I'm thinking of trying a world record, no one's done this, it's going to be as many Hyroxes in 24 hours. And I said, you are a bloody lunatic. Do you not remember that? No? Yeah.
So the story behind the Hyrox 24, I had just done the Summit Metallic Stone 24. That finished, and then I think it was near enough a year on from then. It would have been May 2023. I then done my first ever Hyrox. That's a lie. It went Hyrox first, then I done my second, or it might still have been, it was my second time of doing Stone 24. And at the time I was ultra runner, boxer, wasn't in Hyrox at all. Done the Hyrox, my first ever one, qualified for Worlds, done Worlds. Within that time period, my thought was, right, how do I make this into an ultra marathon? How do I challenge it that little bit further? God knows why I decided to do that. I actually do not know. But I just thought, how am I now going to go from a Hyrox to making it something different, more challenging for myself to see how far I could push? And I went with the idea of doing as many Hyroxes in 24 hours. At the time I came up with the idea, I contacted Hyrox UK. Hyrox UK said, Jake Dearden's doing something similar. He's doing it over 2 days within London. They offered me to do that. And I said, no, that's Jake's thing. I want him to go do that. I want to do 24 hours. Whether I do it at the venue or not, that's what I want to do. I worked at a gym at the time in Saffron Walden. They said, yep, we'll do it. We'll make a charity day out of it. It'll be cool. Hyrox UK said, yep, they'll come along. I was at the point where I was going to do these Hyrox 24 hours. But I wanted to do it as a doubles, because doing it as a doubles is much more enjoyable than doing it solo. And solo, at the time, I had never done one. I only ever done doubles. So thinking of going to do a solo 24-hour Hyrox was non-existent. And in my mind, I was teeing up on who I could do it with. Callum still hadn't done a Hyrox at this point. I was teeing up who I'm going to do it with, which led to me and Callum went out to Milan. We'd done our solos. After the solos, then I asked Callum to do it.
Yes, bloody lunatic.
Yeah.
Don't regret it.
We were in the gym, and now I remember it. We were in the gym, and I just said, do you want to do... Because I already told him about it, and I did just say, do you want to do the Hyrox 24 with me? And you honestly went to me, I don't know if I can. I remember that.
I don't remember saying...
You really doubted if you could do it.
Oh, I think I doubted it. I think I remember doubting it, yeah.
And then... You said yes. We then went out to Glasgow, got the filming done for Hyrox. That's why we were out there. That was the job that we had. Got back from that, and then went into the Hyrox 24. Tell them your journey.
My journey? What, from finishing Glasgow?
Yeah.
From finishing Glasgow? Well, my thought process was, how am I going to train for something like this? That's never been done. Hyrox is so new. There wasn't any training like there is today, or the knowledge. And my first process was running. I needed to run because my first lot of running was in August. And we had done the Glasgow in November. So that had only been not even 4 months of me starting running.
So to put it into perspective, you're going from 8k of running to 100 kilometres of running.
Yes, precisely, yeah. And I think I was at my about 100 kg.
You were still in bodybuilder mode at this point.
Yeah, I was like no fitness at all. Bodybuilder, like big, fat, all that kind of stuff.
So, 2 questions. First one, why did you decide to take on the challenge?
I've actually had a lot of thoughts about this because I've never really truly understood, because it's kind of hard to put it in perspective, but for someone like me, I've never pushed myself in that kind of sense. To say I've pushed myself is BS. I've never truly actually tried hard in the sense I've wanted to go to almost kidney failure and potentially get a heart attack or something, because we had risks and we were told the risks, and I was shitting myself. Can I swear?
So, yeah. Mate,
no, but I just wanted to push myself in the sense of going to the point of maybe hurting myself so bad, but proving to people and to someone like me who was bullied, like you was especially, you know what it's like, just proving people wrong, mate.
Nice.
After all that talk, sorry, that was...
No, mate, I think that's the thing. Like, the reason that I said this in the first episode, the reason why I started this podcast is because I want to air out my sort of thoughts, because you keep them all bundled up. This for me is like a sense of therapy, kind of. It's good to hear other people's stories as to why they do it, because we've got that shared thing of we done something fucking nuts. That if you say, like, even if you say someone you're doing a Hyrox, just one of them, a lot of people say why.
Yeah.
Seeing as we've done 12 of them, it just doesn't make sense to a lot of people. It doesn't make sense to us, and we're the ones that done it. Like, it's tapping into why we do things is the purpose of this podcast. It's hearing people's boundaries or perceived limits and how they overcome them. That's the whole point. With the Hyrox 24 then, talk to me about training. Talk to me about the mindset going into training, the actual event, your mindset throughout the event, anything that happened throughout. Tell me the journey.
The journey, well, funny enough, in the December, my first month of training, I did November, was the first month, and I done probably about 4 hours of running, started off at a week until November, and then I got a really bad stress fracture. I didn't say it right.
Stress fracture.
That's it. I can't say that bloody word. I went to the doctors. They did say I was close to snapping my leg, like you know when you like crack it. Yeah.
That is a proper. That's a typical running injury.
I had to take 2-3 weeks off of running and all kind of impact and stuff. So I was like, right, I'm going to sit on a bike. I'm going to do the erg stuff and just not run. So it was kind of leading up to the 24. I didn't do much running. Like the max I done in 1 week was 20k.
Yeah. So one staple memory that I have in the training, we gave ourselves like time blocks. So we were doing like periodization. We were hitting a specific period where we say, right, this time we're going to do 4 back-to-back Hyroxes. Then we went, right, we're going to do 8 back-to-back Hyroxes. Because it did start off of, we were going to do 15 Hyroxes in 24 hours. That was the goal. That was the one that we kind of put on ourselves. And I think that works out to be about 1 hour and 10 per... no, it was 1 hour 30 on the hour
30,
hour.
That rings a bell.
We then brought it back down to 12 Hyroxes in 24 hours, which is the record that we got. The reason why we done that is because when we done the 4 Hyroxes, we realised it's way too quick. Couldn't recover in time. Then we went for the 8 Hyroxes. I ended up doing 6 and then 2 solo and 4 as a pair. And after you'd done the 4, you had to drop out.
Oh, this was funny because we did this a month and a half before the 24. And I specifically remember we went to go do the 8. We had a mate there called Ted Stroud who was there helping us for everything. It got to the 5th one and I completely DNF'd. I couldn't finish, I couldn't walk. I felt like I completely messed it all up, and the doubts that came into my mind when you was doing that last couple was insane.
So from that point, so we're a month and a half out now. So from that point to the day, what changed in the mindset?
Everything. I'm not gonna lie. There was like it was kind of ride or die, in the sense of I was saying to my parents that I'm gonna do this whether I get a kidney failure, if I break a leg or anything, because the failing of 8 Hyroxes when we were going to do 12 was indescribable. And in that sense, it was just built up emotions to the point I wanted it so bad. As soon as I failed, that's probably the pinnacle for me completing the 12. If I didn't fail then, I wouldn't have done the 12.
So what was the motivation to do the 12?
It was to prove myself wrong, massively. Like, not even like the bullying or anything like that. It was to prove myself that I can do this. Nice. I was sick of the failing.
Yeah, nice.
Massively.
I like it. So we're on D-Day now. This is the day.
Yeah.
It is the 4th of October. Is that right?
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
7th.
Not October, April.
Yeah,
it's the
7th. It's the 6th
of April.
It's the 6th, yeah.
So we started on the 6th of April, and when it hit midnight, it was in Callum's birthday, which then he turned 24.
24, yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah,
so we're going through the night now. What point hurt the most?
The point that hurt the most for me was 2 o'clock.
AM?
2 o'clock, yeah. I didn't speak to anyone, and we had the most amazing people which had the speakers.
So 10, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 2. Hyrox number 9.
Yeah. Hyrox number 9 was the one I was literally about to call a cab, I'm not going to lie. I had the number on my phone and I was going to call it as I got to the top of the road. I was in complete denial. I was literally about to cry. It was the most painful, awful experience, and everything was telling me I don't need to do this. I need to be at home in bed, relaxing.
What changed?
It was the reminder of failing. It was literally, I can do this, but it's the doubt and your self-doubts.
So there's a lot of I believe in 1 second split decisions. So you could either say at that point, yes or no.
It was a 1 split second decision. I had my phone out and I was literally barely walking like this and I was about to call the number. And then in that moment, I literally went and I put my head down. I just started running when I couldn't even run the entire lap of that one.
And then finished it.
And then it got easier. Yeah. I'm not even going to lie.
Then finished it. I think the turning point for me, my Hyrox number 5 and 6, I was in immense amount of pain. I had trapped wind. There's a documentary out on YouTube. Go watch the documentary. It's 12 and 24 Hyroxes.
I remember this. That was the point for you, I think. Yeah,
the point for me was Hyrox 5 and 6. I had trapped wind. I was in immense pain, but I didn't know what it was. Everyone thought it was like bowel issues, but obviously trapped wind's kind of similar. I honestly was running down the hill. So our 1K loop was in a loop. It was 500 metres out, but uphill, 500 metres back, which is downhill. I remember spinning around coming downhill and just had immense pain on every step that I took on my right side because it was on my left. So the minute my leg would kind of swing through, I just remember so much pain hitting me that I honestly thought that was game over. I thought I haven't even hit 5 Hyroxes. This is it. When we then finished that Hyrox, I then remember pushing my stomach, wind came out, happy days, and I literally had a second wind, excuse the pun, had the second wind, kept on going, and then my knee went after Hyrox 9 going into 10, so we were still iffy around the same time. But I remember the turning point for me, we had just started number 11 and we got through it. By the end of Hyrox 11 I was crying, tired, emotional, knowing the job's done. We had one more Hyrox, nothing was stopping us.
Everyone was coming in giving us leg rubs and we looked at each other, we was like, we've done this. We've literally done this.
And that was the turning point, was knowing that we had done it and we'd done it together. I think that's the main thing. This is a guy that I grew up with since I was 11 years old and we've achieved something massive that no one else has ever attempted together. It was, at the time, it was nuts. But after the Hyrox 24, lead us in. We're now 2024, April.
Yep.
What happens next?
After that, I ended up just going for a massive kind of break from it all, really. I didn't really run. I didn't really do any functional because I was kind of just finished in that sense. So I actually decided to do, in August, a 100-mile bike ride.
I remember that.
Yeah, I wanted to try something different, bit out of the box. It's kind of a marathon, but for biking.
That was 2024.
Yeah. We done the first one. That was really bloody hard because I hadn't done any biking up until a month before.
And literally just bought road bikes.
And then we ended up finishing that, and I got just as big a thrill. And then I was just like, this is what I want to do. I want to do events. I just want to do stuff that pushes me beyond my capabilities.
So after that, leading later on in the year, what was next?
I'm pretty sure I did double Hyrox, I'm pretty sure, with Finley.
Yeah.
In London. Yeah. He asked me to do a Hyrox with him and I pushed him around.
I remember.
And I managed to
Finley's my brother, by the way.
This was his first official one as well. He done bloody amazing. We got an hour 15.
Yeah, nice.
Which was really good because he had problems with his stomach.
Yeah, he had problems.
And he just got to the toilet. But
yeah. And then after that, where are we at now?
Now I am preparing for an ultra currently. And
before that though, Callum took part in our backyard ultra.
Oh, the backyard. We can talk about that.
Oh, here's a good story.
This is interesting, actually. So, there's a thing with backyards that people don't understand is it doesn't matter how good of a runner you are. If you're not on the start line for the next hour, you don't go through. You completely fail, no matter who you are or what's happening. Even if it's the second race, you don't finish. And I got to lap 9. I just finished lap 8 and I just had this massive thing go right down my body that made me want to myself.
So Callum shat himself in the Portaloos. Our other mate Fred, who was crewing Callum, I wasn't here at this point. I was stuck down by the lake halfway around the course, so I heard about it when I got back. What happened?
Well, I've been telling my crew to be giving me a jelly and honey sandwich and then to make me a carb and electrolyte drink. That's what I told them to make me every time. Like, we done that. And then I had it before we're going out for the 8th. And then as I was going through the 8th, I was like, this is not good. I do not feel good. This is going to be really bad. So I was kind of like just a bit
shuffling.
Yeah. To the end, it was like I was really worried I was going to. And then got to the 8th, he was like, yeah, good stuff, Cal. And I just went, I didn't look at anyone, head down. I was this close to myself, I'm not going to lie. And then I sat down. It was coming to the last minute. And Fred was like, Cal, you all right, mate? I was like, yeah, I'm fine, mate. I can't get off the toilet. 30 seconds comes, he's like, Cal, you got to get off. I'm like, mate, I can't get off. And then he's shouting, and then everyone's wondering, where the hell's Cal? And I was like, yeah, I couldn't get off the toilet.
I gave the countdown, 3, 2, 1, go. Everyone left, Callum's still in the Portaloo. That's the realistic approach of ultra running. Like, this happens. It's annoying that happens in race, but it does happen. I've shat myself plenty of times in half marathons. Like, it does happen. After that, then, we're now probably present day, I reckon.
Yeah.
What's up and coming? What's next?
So my next race is a 50-mile ultra. That's going to be going from one point to another point in Kent. I had a plan before something happened to go for a decent time of sub 10 hours. Bit outrageous for me. It's just under 2,000 meters elevation. Pretty
decent.
Yeah, pretty decent. But it was going to be something I was going to absolutely just kind of send for. I wanted to actually get top 10. I'm not gonna lie, a bit outrageous. I never told anyone this, but I wanted to go for something.
These are goals that have to be set.
This was something I was actually going to go out of my comfort zone to the max because I'm never someone who wants to compete because I like to just enjoy stuff, especially with ultra running.
Yeah.
It's something you enjoy, but this was like I wanted to get a good result.
Push for it.
But,
so, 2 things now.
Yes.
What would you say that you are at the moment?
What would I say I am?
Yeah. So if you put a label on your style of training, your fitness, what would you say that you are?
I'd say I'm just someone who enjoys running and I'm someone who enjoys lifting. And I want to be able to just do everything.
Nice. Perfect.
I'd like to put it in that perspective, to be honest.
Easy. Obviously, the whole thing of this podcast, a small athlete, you're a tall athlete.
Yes.
Talk to me about your journey through sport as someone who's taller, because obviously I've had to overcome loads of things where I'm smaller. What have you had as advantages, disadvantages within the sports that you've been in?
So if we're going to break down height in the sense of sports, basketball, I had the advantage of being massive, which gave me the opportunity to just be picked based on height. not even any chance of knowing I'm good or not. I'm not even going to lie. They didn't even know how good I was. Like, yep, you're tall wherever new. I was like, right, okay.
Yeah, which is kind of typical. Like, again, we were at a basketball school,
basically.
so it was kind of a case of, I remember there were 3 tall lads. There was you and 2 others, and it was like they're in the team. No matter what, you were in the team.
Basically, yeah, we were just the same 3 people in the A team. Football was different because I was tall, but they didn't know how to use that until I played in defence. And they realised for me being in defence was the most ideal position. I was a striker in my younger day, I won't lie. But then I got put in defence when I got taller.
Fair.
Yeah.
Have you, so now fast forward into, obviously, where we're at now, Hyrox ultra running. Where are we at with that and being tall?
Being tall as a runner, there's a few things to take into perspective of the size of me, my legs, and the weight of my body. As a runner, everyone knows the lighter, the faster you go, basically, and the further. Being a heavy runner, I'm 95 kg, it's a lot of impact.
Yeah.
Joints. And for my knees and my ankles, they are pretty messed up. I have to really watch my mileage. I'm not going to lie, I don't really run as much as other people, in the sense of, if I run too much, I will destroy my shins.
Obviously, you've had that injury as well, so.
If I run too much, my hips go. If I run too much, my knees blow up.
So, let's say, instead of thinking about the physical part of it now, what about the mental side of things? So, tallness sport, I always tell the story of, you've probably heard this a million times, it's the one where I'm on the back playground playing football, didn't play any football because I was too short. That changed my mindset massively into, I want to work hard because I feel like I'm at a disadvantage. Have you had anything where you feel like you're at the advantage or at the disadvantage? Have you had to overcome anything in certain aspects of height within sport?
Yeah, massively, because I'd say I wasn't someone who had a lot of friends in school. It's a bit like cringe to say, but it's true. I'm not really someone who's ever liked by people. But for my sense of height, it was just people just didn't want to. I wasn't really picked until it got to a certain point when they realised height didn't matter, especially basketball. I got kicked out because a new kid came and he was better than me than the team. And a few of us tall people just got blown out when they realised. But it's just the sense of when you realise your height don't actually matter that much, and you actually need to put work in. That's when I was like, right, I actually don't get away with everything with just being a bit more tall than people. So
your mindset changed from, you felt like you were at an advantage until people kind of caught up ability-wise?
Yeah, because as a year 7, year 8, I kind of had height as a personality. It's really bad to say, but that's what you were like. You got attention. Oh my God, you're massive. Look at you. Wow. Birds coming up to you, bloody great. And then everyone gets used to it. You know what I mean? And then it's just boring, and it's actually, then they start picking on you because they think it's funny.
So what, with all that, mindset now, what shifted? You're going into year 9, you've been kicked out of the basketball teams, people have caught up ability wise.
Yeah.
What shifted the mindset?
I found food and I gained a bloody ton of weight. I was about 5'10", 6 foot, not actually massive anymore. In year 9, year 10, I gained up to 100 kg. And then it come year 11 when I found sport again. I lost like 15 kg. I grew to 6'6", and I just ended up working so hard that I got back in the basketball team for the last season. I was in the football team again, and I found my love for sport again. But it was the sense of getting told I was fat and I'm not tall when it doesn't matter what you think. You're not going to do much. Do you know what I mean?
It's interesting because obviously my whole thing was, I have always been sure there's nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
But I had to gain size to give something more to match up with the taller guys, whereas you were the opposite. You were taller but lankier, so then you gained size anyway because you then needed to be at a more athletic level. So it's interesting how like it contrasts each other as well. Okay, going into that, what are the mindset differences you feel between you and someone else?
For me, I feel like failure is something I adore now. I'm not going to lie, if you know me, you know I've failed at nearly everything I've done in sport and running and cycling and Hyrox. I suck at everything, but when it comes to that, that's when people are at such a disadvantage to what they understand about me, because I've taken so much loss in the sense of, right, I've learned. What I've learned is from that failure is I can use that. So right, my leg's gone in a cycling 100-mile race, 75 miles in, right, I know what I need to do. I need to prepare more. I need to strengthen my legs more. I need to do more on the bike, you know?
So you think losses, it's the typical quote of, losses are lessons you need to lose to be able to learn to then progress?
I think if you're getting into the space of Hyrox, running, anything like that, you need to be prepared for failure. If you want to be world champ at anything, if you want to strive for greatness, you've got to love failure.
Yeah.
Failure is...
I always say you can't be afraid to lose, because if you don't lose and you only win, you're never going to learn anything.
Oh, fact.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
On that note then, biggest piece of advice you could give someone listening right now who is 6'8", they have gone through their entire life being 6'8", or biggest piece of advice in general to anyone listening?
It's kind of not just one piece of advice, but if there's something I'm going to say is, don't care what anyone thinks, do what you want to do, have fun with it, and be prepared for failure.
Good shit.
I'd say it's probably multiple, but in those factors, if you want to do great, you want to run a sub 3 hour marathon, you want to go run an ultra, you want to go do a Hyrox, don't care what people think. Be prepared for failure. You'll smash everything. Nice. Those are the only things you need to keep in your mindset, personally.
Nice, I like it. What
about you? I'd like to hear your perspective.
My biggest piece of advice.
I really want to hear yours.
Mine's very similar. Mine is, I always say, and it's recent more than not, obviously through my journey, it's always been, I've always listened to the external voices. I've got to the point now where I'm at a level that I'm very happy with and I could push more. My entire ethos now is ignore the outside voices, concentrate on what you are doing, what you want to do, what you want to strive towards, and let that guide you throughout. It's nothing to do with anyone else out there, it's only to do with yourself. I had a big turning point when I was 16. When I was 16, I effectively used to film videos like this, and I really, really cared about what other people said. I didn't do it for enjoyment, I'd done it because I wanted people to hear me, and I wanted that kind of voice to have.
Attention.
Yeah, in a way. And I just loved filming. I loved posting, but at 16, you're growing up, people are starting to take the piss, and it really put me off. By the time I was 18, just completely stopped, because I cared too much about what other people were saying.
Yeah.
Then hit 22, start filming again with you in the gym. Obviously, I was doing more and more and more, and I was posting because I enjoyed it, started to get the following. And I remember one guy saying to me, you should just, if you enjoy it, post as if you've already got 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing that, people are going to see it, people are going to believe in it, and just post what you want to do. And that goes with sport. You see so many people posting their times. You can't get caught up in what other people are doing. Just concentrate on yourself. Some of the best people in the world don't say what they do. They keep it behind closed doors, and they just train, and they just do. It could be in anything. Yeah. So my whole thing now is I'm going to keep what I do to me, share it if people want to listen, but I'm going to be more inside my own vision and thoughts and let that push me forward. I think that's the biggest thing. There's too many people too many naysayers, too many people that want to get up in your business. Just be you. Yeah. And that's that.
Can I ask you one more question?
Hit me.
As someone who is basically an elite level athlete in a sport, can I ask what's your biggest advice to people who are striving for it as a small athlete and what they can do?
My biggest piece of advice is that you cannot let one voice dictate what your life is going to be.
Yeah.
I had that when I was younger. People were saying I would never make it. People doubted me. Whether they did or they didn't, it felt like they might have. I turned that into fuel to the fire, push forward, and now we're here. There's always going to be people out there that don't believe. If you believe in yourself, that's all that matters. That's my biggest piece of advice. Is just do what you want to do and believe that you can hit it, put in the work, you've done it.
Yeah.
That's that.
Love it.
But, that being said, this has been a Small Athlete podcast, Callum.
Mate, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me on, mate.
That's Callum Bratt, everybody.
Nice to meet you.
World record holder, hybrid athlete, tallest man that I know, only man I know over 6'8".
Tallest athlete, I'd like to say.
Tallest athlete to ever do a Hyrox. Probably might be the tallest athlete to ever do an ultra marathon, to be honest with you. If there's anyone taller out there who's done an ultra or a Hyrox,
hit me up, let's train.
Yeah, please send them our way.
Yeah.
I want to meet these people because it's just standing next to them that's quite funny for me. But it's been a small athlete podcast. Thank you for listening.